you can say what you want. When he's on the football field, he's going to do what he thinks it takes to win the game. And that is something you never want to temper that's in somebody. Like the one play he was running, and you want him to get down, but hell, he shipped boom, he got the first. Well, they called him short after they went back and looked at it, but he didn't take a hit. He adjusted, and
the one where he got out of bounds.
No, the one where he had split the two guys. When the one guy ran past me, he split him. But dude,
I'm not even in the scrutinizing of the running
I'm not saying
right now.
It's not you. It's like I hear every time he runs a play, I'm hearing people, and I want to scream, and if I had hair, I'd pull it out and go, it is tackle football, people. What the hell you expect him to be playing touch while everybody else playing tackle? Because eventually you're getting hit, and if you look at the lick, he was being hit by one guy. The other guy came in, speared, crown of his helmet. Exactly how because they will call that. They didn't call it. So, it ain't gonna be, people will take cheap shots and do things of that nature, but you gotta let people play football.
What I care about most is one, he's repeatedly shown a level of toughness that I don't think you see from a lot of quarterbacks, especially a lot of rookie quarterbacks. He's shown the competitiveness, the desire, all those things. Frankly, I thought he already had all that. What I think he showed us yesterday in the second half of that game, that he could beat you from the pocket. And I think that's by far the most important thing for NFL quarterbacks. You don't want to change anything. I'm not trying to stop him running anything. The second half of that game, he was 12 of 16 for $140. He hit I listened to the conversation and see on Twitter, and people are worried about Jamin Davis. Take a second. Take a deep breath. You had a rookie quarterback in his second ever NFL game engineer a 2-minute drill drive for a win.
Yeah.
Who's the last who's the last quarterback in Washington you felt comfortable, he's going to take us down the field and get a win?
Not often.
The throw to Noah Brown on an in-breaking route, maybe I don't know.
That was a bang 8.
A post,
it's they call it a bang 8 where he's going up the field, 5 hard step, boom, inside ball's there.
Dude, that throw is so good and so accurate. Noah Brown, by the way, already gives him something different. Just when he's running around out there, he's big, he's long. It looks different than everybody else. If your takeaway from yesterday with Jayden or yesterday with the team isn't, oh my God, this quarterback gives Washington a chance every time they step on the field, then I feel like we're watching something different. And I feel like that is so far and away the most important lesson from yesterday. And not that in Tampa he was bad, he was pretty good. And not that in the first half yesterday he was bad. They were still moving the football. But in the second half, you start to see, at least in my eyes, you started to see the passer that Daniels proved to be at LSU that absolutely torched everybody. And as that dude grows more comfortable, that was his fourth half of NFL football. This is happening at such an accelerated timeline.
What did David Aldridge say? David Aldridge said if he can do one thing per game to show you why he was drafted as the second pick, you got you something. He's done more than one thing per game. That drive was engineered perfectly. And the thing of it is, there are going to be times where your quarterback will be getting their butts kicked. I watched Cincinnati and Kansas City yesterday. 2 that we consider damn good. They were getting their ass kicked at certain points in the game.
Did you watch Caleb Williams last night?
I watched him. But I watched a lot of quarterbacks that are extremely good and established. They were losing at one point, but what did Pat Mahomes do down the stretch to get him down? Got him in a position, get a guy a chance to kick a field goal. You have to have that little knack in you, that type of nerve or whatever in you, or have that about you to be able to go down and do those things. He does. And I just think that it's like we get people sometimes and we get to a point where we want them to be perfect. Nobody's perfect out there. I look at a lot of games yesterday where teams were perfect last week, look like garbage this week.
The Ravens are 0-2.
That's what I'm saying.
The Ravens just lost to the Raiders in a game. The 4 of us sat here on Friday afternoon and said, there's no way Baltimore possibly loses.
Yeah, we said that.
Right. There are so many talking points, and we got 4 hours. We're going to talk about all of it. And I'm really excited. Joe Theismann will join us at 11 to continue he's been gracious enough to talk to us about what he's seen from Jayden week after week. I think you saw there were 2 adjustments made yesterday at halftime. And I know that the lack of adjustments with the previous staff drove you crazy, Brian. 2 adjustments made yesterday at halftime. I think defensively, Mike Davis can't play. And there's a reason he didn't play in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had him on the field yesterday, and he got absolutely torched. That last drive the Giants had before halftime where it was just the Malik,
they were going at him.
It was the Malik Neighbors show. They just put a target on there and said, let's go get him. Then they benched him. They moved BSJ over to Neighbors. You get Noah I on the field. That helped. Neighbors is a stud. He's still going to get his, but that helped. BSJ played a really good game, slowed that down. That's a defensive adjustment that helped. I like that. Clearly, there was an adjustment also with Daniels, whether it was just his own internal clock, whether it was coaching, whether Cliff sat him down or Tavita or Brian Johnson or one of the 8 other quarterbacks, former quarterbacks they have there to help him. Clearly something adjusted because the ball started coming out faster. He still ran. He was still an effective runner, especially late on that drive when he took the keeper to the edge, got out of bounds. Before
if you look at it, when he was getting ready, I thought he was going out of bounds, but
I thought he was thinking about cutting it out. Yeah. Dude,
he's smooth, man.
You don't take away the running, period. You do not. But he was so good in the pocket. And if you go back to LSU, you go back to his best games, he's winning from the pocket with the quick release. And, dude, if I don't even know that it's frankly, I've had steadfast belief in this young man to be a stud NFL quarterback. Mm-hmm. When that fully develops, to the NFL stage, you got something. You got something serious.
Well, I think
maybe it's happening.
I think the ultimate thing is the thing I realized, Jay. You could go into a game wanting to do that the whole game. The defense get paid too. Those coaches over there make you have to do some things, try to move you off your spot. He has it in him, and if he can do it for 2-3 quarters a game, that's cool. Because I was watching Pat last night. They were giving Pat fits. They were giving Joe fits late. They gave Pat fits early. Down the stretch, Pat came up. I would love to see, like, when you go into a game, normally it's like a boxing match. You're filling each other out to see what you can get, what you can't. And then once you figure it out, you go for it. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And he's a little early in his career to expect him to come out of the box already knowing.
Totally.
You know?
That's why I think yesterday was such an incredible sign of progress to be that dialed in. I mean, dude, if you just listen, you need touchdowns in the red zone. Like there are some warts to this win for sure. Mm-hmm. But if you're just looking at the quarterback and you're anything but wildly impressed, we're breathing different air.
I'm like this. We need touchdowns, but you know what? We found a kicker. He made more kicks in one game than all the other 4 before him made together, probably. Let's just be real about it.
Yo, how about Austin Seibert, who I believe is from Illinois and went to college at Oklahoma? Like, he came out in a Dodgers hat, a blue Dodgers hat with a Death Row Records T-shirt on, and I was like, "Is this dude a Crip? Like, do I need to adjust what I'm seeing here?"
Nah, he said he just liked the T-shirt. He didn't even know what it was about.
I asked him. We all kind of asked him as he was leaving, but it was a vibe. It was I mean, you yell at me about what I wore when we went out in L.A. that night. Like, I don't know that Austin can wear a blue Dodgers hat with a Death Row T-shirt and walk around.
At least he did it in D.C. You did it in L.A. What the hell? But he's saying,
7 made
Dave
field goals.
Butts Senior or somebody's his agent?
Wait, what?
He told me this yesterday. He said his agent, dad was Dave Butts Senior or something. He said.
Wow.
Something about that on the line. They're from the same hometown and everything else.
Okay. I'll try to find out what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, Seibert, I don't know the answer to this, but is 21 points like a record?
It's a record for the team.
For scoring without a touchdown?
Yeah.
I know that the 7 field goals is a record.
It happened another time, I think, in a game. There was a second time a team has given up touchdowns and have not given up a touchdown. They scored a touchdown and lost. That's the second time that happened. Another kicker kicked 8, but it was the 11th time in NFL history that a kicker had kicked 7 field goals or more.
I mean, for Washington specifically, and I got this from...
The record was 5, I think, at first. Chip Lomiller.
Well,
and also Hopkins.
Hopkins had a 5-kick game.
Yeah.
Charlie Muley does PR and provides stats for the Commanders, does a great job. It was it was the 7th time the Skins had won a game without scoring a touchdown in franchise history. Now, if I had to guess, a bunch of those are back in like 1936 or something when people were winning 2-0. So it's the 7th time they've done it, winning a game without a touchdown. I think you were on the field for one of those.
The 91 game, he kicked 5 field goals over 50 yards.
No, when was the 3-0 Jets?
Oh, the 3-0 Jets game? That was a horrible game.
But you guys won, right?
Yeah, it was. No, I don't think we won it. We lost that game.
3-0 Jets. Oh, all right. Forgive me then.
Yeah. We beat what's called them, I think 15, whatever it was. We beat Minnesota when Chip kicked 5.
Okay, and he was from Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
That had to feel kind of good.
But all 5 were over 50.
That's bombs. That's like the Houston kicker. That dude just hits bombs.
Yeah.
Last time Washington won a game without scoring a touchdown was a 9-7 win over the Rams in 2009.
Okay.
Let's be really clear. Nobody's looking for wins without touchdowns. Like that. Nobody's pretending that's the goal. I'm not going to try to
It's not the goal, but you know what?
Awesome.
If it happened, I'm damn sure not going to be mad at it.
But you know what? They repeatedly, I think 5 penalties inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that
on their offensive line.
That really, really annoyed me. If you had seen me when that was going on, my face.
Where'd you watch the game?
I was in the suite, and I'm
the
talking,
big one.
Yeah, with all the former players and stuff.
Okay.
But I wasn't talking to anybody. I was that frustrated. I was pissed because I'm like, you get down here and you keep shooting yourself in the foot.
Sure. But for me, we're going to get into all of it.
Once the game was over, I was completely different because I'm up here saying, okay, how is this show going to be? Because they had done so much wrong.
Oh, your post-game show?
Yeah, and then when they end up winning it, it changed the whole mindset.
Sure.
You go to a different approach.
Sure.
You do the John Thompson. Now you're gonna do you're gonna critique, but you're gonna do it in a calmer manner.
Dude, if you're a Giants fan and you lose that game yesterday, and they knew the kicker had issues coming in.
So he was hurt coming in. So that's why that first kick he kicked was a snap hook galore.
Daboll's thing was he had a groin issue. He got hurt either ripping or pulling his hammy trying to chase down Eckler. He's like, we didn't plan on him chasing down Eckler. And you know how the New York media is. They were killing him about not having an extra kicker up. But I don't know if you saw
most punters can kick.
It was shocking how bad their punter was at the one extra point they rolled him out for. But I don't know if you saw Daboll at the end of that game.
When he slammed his, yeah.
I feel like the Giants believe they gave one away. It's pretty rare to lose to a team when they can't score a touchdown. Yeah. But I think big picture, if you want to know what to focus on, listen, the Washington defense is a
what you need to focus on is tackling. I watched guy after guy yesterday. I don't understand and this is not just Washington, this is NFL. Guys want to make tackles while still standing up. Tackling means you go to the damn ground, leave your feet, do something. But all of this just thinking you're going to just push somebody down, this is not football. They got to wrap up and go to the damn ground, point blank.
The biggest message I could give, and he's a young quarterback. He's got to figure some stuff out. You'd like to take less shots. You worry about the contact over the course of time. But he had 16 carries last week. I told you it'd be fewer this week just because Tampa doesn't blitz as much. It's 10 this week. Like, it's going to continue to evolve. Mm-hmm. And I think the way he passed in the second half is by far the absolute most important outcome of the home opener against the Giants. But just think about the efficiency. Brian, when's the last time we saw efficient offense in Washington?
Not often.
They put up over 400. They put up 425 yards in this thing. Mm-hmm. They were 50% on third down, 7-14, and a lot of those were kind of jammed up third downs because they had gotten dumb penalties. 10 penalties for 69 yards. Say you cut that by 40%, and that ends up being 6 penalties for 45 yards. Mm-hmm. They're probably putting up 30.
Yeah,
like when Jayden is on the field, this team has a chance to score damn near every time he touches the ball. That is wildly different. That is what should be your big takeaway.